My name's Chris and I am making this video because I want to talk about my experience with studying engineering. It's my second year studying engineering, and over this time it's been a roller coaster of emotions and things I've had to go through, and just struggles with really realizing who I am and what my passion is and what my purpose is. I want to talk about mainly the things I've struggled with in studying engineering, and because of the fact that I do not even know if I want to be an engineer, but I continue to study engineering. So I'm just gonna go back from the very beginning. How did I end up here? How did I end up studying computer engineering, and why have I stuck with it even though I've had like a lot of trouble? Ever since I was in high school, middle school, I always knew I wanted to get a good college degree and go to a good college and a secure, stable job that would give me prestige or give me stability in life, because I thought success was just if you went to a good college and you got good grades, you would be good in life. You would never have to worry about anything. I always wanted to get a good job. That's kind of the basis. I tried super hard in high school. Like, I'm telling you, I had straight A's. And I know it sounds pretty cliche, like, oh, I got straight A's. But I'll tell you, like, I wasn't just the type of student just to like try to get straight A's. That wasn't my main goal. I actually really cared about school. Like, every subject that I tried learning, I put like 150%. I remember I was in an English class in my second year of high school. That class was so boring, but I was straight the only kid in that class that actually did the homework and the readings during the class. We would have 30 minutes to just read, and nobody read except me. I ended up finishing that class with like 110%. I'm telling you, I was obsessive over school. And I don't mean this to brag, I just mean this to emphasize the point that for me, school was everything. For me, my whole entire life's journey was based on how I did in school. So I just tried super hard at school, and I thought that's how life should be. You just need to do good in school, and that would determine how you did in life. And I had no basis for this. I did not know what I wanted to do. I did not know what I was gonna work in. I did not know what I was gonna pursue in college. I did not know anything. I just knew that I had to do good in school. I remember when I grew up, I kind of wanted to be an architect for a long time. That was kind of my goal. And the main reason for this was I feel like my mom would just tell me like, oh, you're such a good thinker, like I can see you as an architect. So I kind of took that as what I wanted to do in life. I wanted to be an architect. But as time went on, I just changed that thought over time. I remember I was super into nutrition during high school. My first year of high school, I started like working out a lot and eating super healthy. So then I thought, hey, I want to be a nutritionist. But then I was like, the nutrition, like dietitians don't get paid well. They get paid like 70, 60K at most. So I was like, dang, I can't really do that, even though that's my passion. And that's the thing, like growing up, I was always very analytical about what I wanted to do in life. And I didn't just want to do something because I was passionate about it. I wanted to do it because I actually wanted to be successful. I actually wanted to make good money. And that's kind of how my mind worked. Like, I did not really care about my passion because I knew that, you know, passion doesn't really pay the best. You know, we live in a capitalistic society where if you don't provide value, if you don't provide the right type of value to people, then you're not gonna get paid well. And that's kind of just the reality. It's how the economy works. So that's how I saw things. I kind of never really cared about pursuing something that I really enjoyed. It was more just, if it pays well and it has good prestige, I actually want to do that. That's when I started looking into engineering. Like, I remember in high school, the first intro classes we took was kind of a career class. So they would teach us, hey, like, these are the different jobs you could get. And I remember it was my freshman year of high school, and I was like, dang, I really need to figure out what I want to do, because high school's gonna go by super fast and I'm gonna end up not knowing what I want to do at all. So then what I ended up doing was, in that class, they had a website. So it was like a website where they showed you all the different careers, and they showed you what you'd be doing, what the salary is like. Basically, after all this thinking and really having time to think about what career I wanted to pursue, engineering was always on my mind. Like, that's kind of one thing I always had on my mind, but I didn't really think I was actually going to study this. But once senior year hit, boom, I had to start applying for colleges. And I'm like, dang, I want to go to a prestigious college. I want to go to a private college. But little did I know that I was never going to actually be able to do that because of the insane price it costs to go to a private college. And I told my parents, hey, I want to go to a private college, but they did not let me because they told me you're going to get in debt and we don't have money to pay for you. So I basically couldn't even go to a college that I actually wanted to go to. So my only choice was to apply to my hometown college, which is not like a really good college. And this kind of upset me for a while. But the biggest thing that I had on my mind was, what am I even going to choose to study? And I was like really down at this point in life because my main goal in going to another college that was not in my hometown was to just get away from my town. I don't live in a big town, and I wanted to experience like what it feels like to be out on my own, what it feels like to experience life on my own terms, to really understand different things about life, to be able to grow on my own. And that was what I wanted, but that dream was crushed. So what did I enroll in? I enrolled in my hometown college for electrical engineering. And the reason I chose electrical engineering was because it was kind of just like a placeholder degree. All my friends were kind of enrolling in that, and I was like, dang, like all my friends were talking about studying engineering, and I was like I don't even know if that's what I want to study, but like I'll enroll in it because I don't really know what else to do. So there I go. I enrolled into electrical engineering and I was set to go to college. So this is when a lot of things changed though in my life. During this time, I felt really desperate because I had always imagined myself going to a really good college and getting that college experience. And like I said, my mindset was, hey, get into a good college and get a good degree and get a job and you're set for life. But here's what changed during this time. I learned that college is not really everything. I learned that college does not really define success. For me, college was kind of just the only road you could take. Go to college, get a job, you're good. But as I started to grow, as I started to just learn more as a person, I started to learn that, business existed. Like you do not have to get a job to be successful in life. Obviously, you should get a degree, you should get a good job. It's good to do that. But I learned that there's an alternative path, that you do not have to go to college. You do not really want to. And for me, that was like a foreign concept, like not going to college, like who are you? You're doomed if you don't go to college. And I still agree that you should go to college. Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I did not know that you could start your own thing. You could be your own boss. I didn't know that. So I started kind of learning about that. I kind of started learning that, like a lot of people around me don't really work jobs. They have businesses. And that's when I started to get into like that mentality, like I don't know what I want to do. And is that a bad thing? Because all my life I was just thinking I need to know what I want to do. I need to know what kind of job I want to get. But up until this point, I literally did not know. Like I was not passionate about engineering. I was not passionate about any kind of field I could go to with a degree. I just chose engineering because I was like, it's good pay. So I start kind of trying to start my own business during this time. It was like middle of the year in high school, in my last year of high school. And I was like, dang, I gotta try to start something because if I start something now and by the time I reach the end of my high school year, maybe I don't even have to go to college. Maybe like I could just, show that I am, already set in life. I already have a path that I'm gonna take other than college. Starting different businesses. Okay, I was new to this. I first started drop shipping until I learned that, you can't really do, it's really hard to do good in drop shipping. I tried that. I tried reselling and it all failed. Like I was super obsessed, but it all failed. So then the third thing I tried was growth operating, which when I think about it, it's pretty stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Basically what it is you're trying to help creators or like people that have social media followings, try to help them build a community for their audience. So people that already have an existing audience, you basically want to convert that audience to buy whatever they're selling. So I tried that for 3 months, and I'm telling you, I went all in. Like, I locked in completely. I basically had the goal of getting to like 10K a month, and that's all I thought about during this time. I forgot about school. I didn't care about school. I had straight A's, right? So I basically just forgot about school, right? I did not do a single, from that point on to, for the middle of high school to the end, I did not do a single piece of homework. And for the 3 months I did that, I got a couple sales calls, but I got turned down by like everyone. Like, I'm telling you, got on calls with, did not want to work with me. And it makes sense because I did not know what I was doing. And I was really naive at this point. I thought that I could just start a business out of nowhere and do good without any experience. The problem wasn't the business itself, it was me as a person. I did not have the right skill set to make money. So basically what happened was I tried starting the business and I failed. So what did I do after? I just quit. I was so burnt out from this business, like trying to make so much money so fast, that I just quit. I knew that my passion wasn't school anymore. I knew that my passion was going to be in business, starting my own business. But I just knew that I couldn't continue doing that because I was so burnt out, and I literally could not. Like, I was done. Like, I was done with school, I was done with business. I was done. And like, I just felt so tired. At this point, it was kind of the end of high school. I was in my last months of high school, and I'm telling you, I did not do a single piece of homework. I went from straight A's to having 2 D's and 2 A's, which is not horrible, but I felt like horrible. I wasn't gonna go to my dream college. I didn't know what I wanted to study. I couldn't be successful in my business. I couldn't, do most of the things that I wanted to do in this last year of high school. I was contemplating even going to college because I still wanted to try to start a business, but I just didn't know what business to start. And I told my parents, hey, like, I don't want to start. I don't want to go to college. And there was a point where my progress report came in, and they found out that I was basically doing horrible in 2 of my classes, and they basically yelled at me. After all these problems of kind of figuring out that I do not really like the fact of, going to college, and I kind of knew I wanted to have a business, I just gave myself the opportunity to kind of realize that, hey, I need to, at least try this out. I need to at least go through my first year and see how it goes. So I entered my first year and I'm studying engineering. I'm studying electrical engineering. So this is probably the year that kind of made me realize that, dang, I am not in the right spot, not in the right mentality, because my first year, I was super out of it. When I entered, I basically had no work ethic at this point. I went like a whole 5 months of not doing any work. I did not work on any homework during the end of high school. I was super out of it. So when I entered my first year, I was not in the right mentality. I had no want to like do any work. And basically what happened my first year was I was miserable. I ended up going to my first programming class. I sucked at it. Like, I absolutely sucked. I literally remember going to that class and feeling like miserable. Like, I could not grasp any concept that he was teaching. We were learning C++. I could not grasp a single thing. Everyone in the class knew what they were doing, but I felt like I was the only one that did not understand anything. So when I first entered, I basically did not know anything. I did not know anything about coding. I did not know anything. Okay, so I did super horrible in that class. I ended up passing with a C, but that's barely because he was just giving me mercy, like, at this point. So my first semester goes by, and I did horrible, like horrible. Oh my, like, I had a 2.9 GPA, and I felt so depressed during this time. During this time too, I was kind of just giving engineering a shot, and I kind of also was trying to start another business. I was trying to resell clothes on Depop, and also do Facebook marketplace reselling. And I was doing kind of good. I was getting a couple sales, But I realized that, dang, I do not really want to do it. It's not really scalable. And, you know, I was still trying stuff out. But during this time, I was literally so, like, I literally did not have any passion for what I was studying. I did not know what I was going to do in my life. And, you know, everything seemed fine on the outside, but I was honestly, like, really suffering mentally during this time. So I did horrible my first semester, 2.9 GPA, and I absolutely sucked. Like, I'm not lying. This semester was showing me that I was honestly doing something wrong in my life because I was not passionate. I was not good at what I was doing. I was honestly just falling off in life. I was losing my grip on my life. Engineering was really hard. Didn't like what I was doing and I wasn't passionate about it. So my next semester comes up and I already knew that I was really not in the right mentality still. Semester is up and it's time to go to my classes, and this semester was even worse. I had data structures and algorithms. If you know what that class is, I wouldn't say it's the hardest class, but it's one of the most fundamental classes of any college degree that is kind of stemmed around programming. And I had one of the worst teachers I could possibly have. Like, he's like one of the worst teachers that was on campus. And it was absolute torture. Like, oh my God, that class taught me that I honestly did not know if I wanted to continue doing engineering. I would walk in, and whenever I walked in, I already knew that I was not gonna understand anything. The first day I walked in, he was already telling us to do like command lines, like going into terminal and kind of, you know, logging into all these different things. And I was like, dude, what is going on? I do not understand a single thing. Barely learned anything in my first semester, and I was already expected to like know that and other stuff. And I was like, dude, I do not know what's going on. So basically what happened was I stopped showing up to class for a good like month. And that was the biggest mistake I made because, you know, I kind of just gave up and I was like, you know, maybe I'll pass. You know, I wasn't even expecting to pass. I was like, maybe I'll pass. And then I decided, hey, you know, I'm gonna start going because I need to lock in. I need to actually try because I don't want my GPA to go down even more. And I was taking pre-calculus too. I did calculus in high school, but, you know, I didn't pass the AP test, so I needed to take pre-calculus again. So I wasn't showing up to that class either. I was doing horrible in that class. All the other classes I was doing okay, but they were like general education classes, so whatever. So basically, I didn't show up to any of the classes, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just start showing up in the middle of the semester. And that was literal torture because that teacher, he would give assignments, he would give labs the day you go in, the day of the class. He would give you a lab, he would lecture, and then you would have an hour and a half to finish that same lab. And sometimes these labs were pretty hard. Like, we had to straight debug an entire like code. Like, we had to do a whole, like, we had to basically look over the entire code he gave us and fill in things and make sure it ran, and it would compile. So this was like torture for me. Like, I vividly remember going to that class and having so much anxiety that like I literally just wanted to drop out. I would finish the lab, like miraculously. Sometimes I didn't even finish. Like, I would finish, go to my car and drive home. But I remember the drive home was like a 20-minute drive in the freeway. And there was this part of the drive where like you're going over a ramp over the city. And I would kind of just vividly remember like just thinking to myself, what if I just like turned the wheel and just like, you know, ended it, you know? It was that bad. Like, it was that my life was going in the wrong direction. Like, I had no drive. You know, during the first semester, I was actually in a relationship during that time and it ended. And going into second semester, I still had that. Like, I was going through a breakup. I was really just not in the right mentality. And this was a time I was just like, dang, like, I'm doing horrible. And I ended up passing the class. But my GPA was horrible. Like, I'm telling you, I think I had like a 2.6 GPA, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, what am I doing with my life? I ended up making friends in my classes and in clubs that I joined. But what I realized was that everyone was like starting to get opportunities, because after the end of my second semester, I had a horrible GPA. I had like no chance of getting into research opportunities, to get into internships. I had no projects under my belt. I did not even know how to code well. I basically learned like nothing. But all of my friends were like getting into these research opportunities. They were like kind of looking into different things. They were building projects. They were like super enthusiastic about all these things. And a lot of the times, like I applied to some research opportunities and I got into none of them, but my friends did. All of my friends were like achieving a lot of things that I wasn't. And I was like, damn, what is wrong with me? Like, what is wrong with me? And that was a turning point. And during that time, I also started to make content. I was kind of just filming like a day in my life. And this is when I realized that, you know, maybe engineering isn't for me. But I found that I really like making content. Like I really like making videos. It was kind of my escape. Like I was going through a lot during the time, but whenever I like made content, whenever I made videos, I would kind of find like a safe space. I would kind of feel more better in life. You know, I felt like, you know, I was doing something I actually loved and doing something that, you know, I could potentially do like full time. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just start making content and experiment. I ended up passing my classes barely, and I'm making videos during this time, and summer comes. So I take summer classes. I'm kind of just chilling during this time. It was way better than my second semester that I was like having suicidal thoughts. And I'm giving myself some time again to just breathe before school starts again in the fall. I joined some competitions. I did a robotics competition and it was really fun. I found that, you know, it's not as hard to get through engineering when you have a lot of people around you. So that's what I was doing. So I was just kind of experimenting and really kind of trying to make engineering work for me. So there we go. My next semester, this is my third semester of college, and basically right now I just finished my third semester. So this is the last semester I was in. And things are kind of getting better. I'm making more friends. I'm kind of starting to enjoy engineering a little bit more, but I still kind of had it in the back of my head like, damn, I'm miserable. I still like cannot, you know, like fathom the idea of me actually continuing this degree. So I go through my third year and my third semester, and what happens now is I'm taking like calculus 2, which is like supposedly one of the hardest classes, and I'm taking physics, and I'm taking a web design class. And what happens is I don't show up to basically anything. Like I literally was so out of it still, and I thought I would be, you know, locking in during this time, but I wasn't. I didn't show up to basically any classes until the last like month or two, like basically. So I was miserable still. Like every day I was contemplating like my life. I was contemplating like why everybody seems like they're like super on track, super like into this degree, but I'm not. And I just felt miserable again. And I had to think to myself. I had to really just sit down and think, because I feel like a lot of the times we have like problems in life and we just like try to get through them, just try to like, you know, slowly just push it aside and try to just like integrate it into our life and kind of just like, you know, think of it as a way of coping. Like, you know, I'm not gonna think about it because it's just gonna solve itself. But in reality, a problem will never solve itself until you like confront it. And that was my problem. Like, you know, I just thought I was studying engineering and I'll get through it, and you know, after I graduate, then I'll figure things out. But that's when I have to sit down and think, you know, what do I want to do in life? Like, what is my passion? What do I actually like? And during this time, I was creating a lot of content. I was making a lot of videos, and they were actually gaining a lot of traction. Like some of my videos were getting like hundreds of thousands of views, and I was like, dang, you know, I'm not too bad at this. Like I actually enjoy doing this, and I'm actually like enjoying making videos instead of, you know, going to college. And I was like, okay, well, I don't like engineering. I don't really like the idea of working in a field of engineering, but should I still study it? So I really just thought, I sat down, I was like, what do I do? And I realized that a lot of other, you know, fields still take in engineers. For example, there's a lot of finance. roles that take in engineers because you're analytical, you know how to think. And I'm like, dang, so should I stick with engineering? And I'm still in that process of kind of really understanding what I want to do, because I'm already 2 years into this, and I really don't want to make the mistake of dropping out or switching major and then regretting it. I really had to sit down and think about it. So I realized that I probably am not gonna use my degree the way most people would. I'm probably not gonna use it to go get a job and move up and all that stuff. What I really enjoy doing is being on camera and really expressing my thoughts, really putting my creativity to life. And that's what I realized, that dang, I am gaining traction. Like, I'm gaining the ability, I'm gaining the skills of making videos, of making content that converts, making content that is actually like good. And that's when I realized, like, dang, I'm gonna study engineering, but I might not use it, and that's okay. I've come to that conclusion that I'm not passionate about it, but that's okay. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my degree, but I just know that I gotta continue going, because I don't know if I'm ever gonna regret life. And that's how I take life sometimes. Like, if I have something on my mind that I want to do, but I don't have every step planned out, sometimes I just gotta go for it. Sometimes I just gotta do it. I gotta get through the hard stuff, because what if I go fast forward like 10 years and I think about it, dang, I didn't do it. I just didn't try it out. Maybe it might change. Maybe I might find something else that I'm into. Maybe I pivot. I don't know. During these 3 years of high school, end of my high school year to now, I've always thought about me following my passion, me following what I'm actually good at, what I'm actually interested in. And what you gotta realize in life is that whatever you want to do, you gotta see it from a perspective of, what are you good at? What skills do you have? What makes money? And what do you actually enjoy doing? And you gotta find the intersection of what are you good at, what makes money, and what do you actually enjoy doing? And you gotta find at least 2 of those 3 things. Are you good at something? What skills do you have? What are you passionate about? What actually makes money? And I found that for me, it's content. Like, I like making content. Like, I don't know what kind of content I'm gonna make, but I know that I like making it. So that's what I'm gonna stick to, because I'm good at it, because I enjoy it, and because you can make money. So engineering caused me a lot of mental strain, a lot of anxiety, a lot of hardships, but I'm still gonna get through it. So if you're studying engineering or planning to study it, really take it into consideration. What do you want to do with it, and what perspective are you taking away from it? Are you gonna actually get a job from it, or are you just doing it to for the money? And for me, I realized I'm doing it as a stepping stone to something else. And if I don't use it, at least I got the experience of knowing that it wasn't for me. And that's kind of what I realized. I've learned a lot about myself in studying engineering, and it's taught me that you shouldn't do anything based on the money, or based on the prestige, or based on the way society will look upon you for whatever you do in life. I studied engineering because I thought I would enjoy it. I thought that it would give me stability in life. I thought it would solve my problems. I thought that society would, treat me differently, and that's kind of true to an extent, but that's not the right reason to study anything or pursue anything, because the way people look at you does not determine, what you actually enjoy doing. Just because people might give you certain prestige or certain, they might look at you differently because you're studying something that like engineering, doesn't mean that it's gonna make your life any better. Because for me, it made my life much more miserable. And really reflect on those things in life. Why are you pursuing certain things? Don't do something just because of the way you want to be seen. Do something because of the way you want to make an impact, the way you want to live your purpose. Really talk to God about that. Like, what is the purpose I want?